Okay, welcome back. We've got the 9 Baofengs and the 1 Motorola sitting over here. We're just going to put this antenna, the Smiley Slim Duck 150 megahertz, if you're following, back on the Motorola here. Now, due to the fact that the users that I was going to use are no longer on the air, we're going to have to use something else. So this is a weather transmitter that's 40, 50, maybe even more miles away. I'm going to get a more exact measurement in a little bit here. But
lows in the lower 70s. Chance of rain 50%.
The Motorola MTS2000 has no problem hearing this.
Across the rest of
Now, channel 4, that's the local. So let's open the Squelch and see what else we can hear. Oops. Okay.
Thunderstorms in the evening. A chance of showers. Lows in the upper 60s. Friday.
Okay, so that's the Motorola MTS2000, which I kind of use as, you know, maybe a benchmark, or you could say a control group, comparing these other radios. Now, this is not the stock Motorola antenna, as I said. This is the Smiley antenna, but I think this antenna works best with this radio. Maybe this antenna even works better, but for the sake of comparison, I want to put all the different antennas on UV-5Rs, which are more or less going to give me, I mean, look at the difference in length and size here on these different antennas. Now the two stock antennas, I should say, I like the look of this one a lot more. This setup looks pretty good too. This is the other Smiley Slim Duck cut for 150. This is the Smiley 5/8 wave duck. These are the two no-name Chinese quote-unquote high gain dual band antennas. They're both quite long. This is the RHA 701, which is a Chinese copy of the Diamond RH 701. Now you'll notice right here that this doesn't even really go all the way into the connector, which that's kind of problematic in and of itself. But what we're going to do is a quick receive test on VHF. We're not talking about UHF right now, so we're going to go 152, 125. Now that's hearing that full quieting. So what we'll do is we'll go off frequency, because this thing is on 152.7125. So we'll try 152.710. So that's kind of in and out. I'll put the radio vertical, and it's still in and out. So this is the stubby stock. Oh wait, we didn't do that for the control. We used the weather station. Let's do that.
Wakefield has issued a heat advisory, which is in effect from noon to 8 p.m. Thursday. Areas affected: Central and Eastern Virginia, and Lower Maryland and Virginia Eastern Shore.
So even the little stubby stock antenna can hear the distant weather station just like the Motorola can. Let's try the thin, longer stock. Again, that's 152.7125.
At a period of hot temperatures,
showing,
the combination.
that's showing 3 bars on the S meter, and this is showing full scale on the S meter, which is appears to be 5. So just going off of this, which I realize is not a very good measurement, this antenna does better on VHF. than this antenna does, which I believe, since this is probably a coil the whole way, whereas this is probably just a quarter wave for UHF for 150. So those are two stock antennas. That's just for VHF. Now we'll try some aftermarket stuff. So let's move these out of the way. We've got the Diamond RH701, which is supposed to give me wideband receive performance. And let's do 1527125. Now you'll notice that on this radio I typed in 152.712 and it took me to 152.710. But on this radio, which is a newer one, 3rd generation, I'll type in 152.712 and it puts me on 152.7125. Now both these radios are on the same 2.5 kilohertz channel step or frequency step. So while this one takes 152.712 entry as the correct frequency offset, 152.7125, this one takes me to 152.710. So if I type in 152.713, then it puts me on 152.7125. So just a little, these are really minor differences, but I think they're worth noting. Just in the different generations of radios. So just looking at the signal strength here, which I realize on this radio is probably meaningless because this one, it just shows you all or nothing. Let's drop down to 710. So even so, 7.5 kilohertz away, 5 kilohertz away, it's getting it. Let's use. It's another local pager. I mean, that thing is like 2,000, 3,000 watts or something. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's get out of there. Okay, so we'll go back to the weather frequencies here. And this is showing, this one actually has an SMA-F. That's giving us more intermittent reception, which might be due to the fact that this might not even be a full connection here on the RH701. So let me just swap these real quick. Put the Diamond on, see if it makes any difference. Well, it fits a lot better, I'll tell you that, but the receive is the same. So you see that's cutting in and out.
Thursday, mostly sunny.
I put the radio down horizontal, it actually receives it better. But that's in and out. So you can see the difference between the Diamond antenna and the Smiley antenna, at least on the Motorola. So next we're going to test the Smiley antenna on the Baofeng UV-5R. Okay, so we've got two different Smiley antennas here. This is the Slim Duck 150 megahertz, which in theory gives us 145 to 155. And this is the 5/8 wave duck, also cut for 150, which again in theory gives us 145 to 155. Transmit and receive. So we'll do the 5/8 wave duck first. So 152.712, and it puts us right on there, right on channel. So this is performing slightly better than the Diamond, but not really too much of a difference. Let's try the weather. See, that's full scale.
No, the signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion.
So that's giving me a little bit better signal, at least on the weather channel, weather frequencies, which are outside of the stated frequency coverage for this radio. Now I should note that the squelch settings on all these radios are the same. Just putting that out there.
Highs in the low 80s. Saturday, most.
Okay. So just you can see the length difference here is only a couple inches between the 5/8 wave and the regular slim duck. Now I like the way the slim duck looks both on the Baofeng and on the Motorola MTS, which, you know, this is a classic radio. I wish I had an HT1000 or a JT1000 or a XTS to compare this with, but I really, really like the MTS2000. This is one of my favorite rigs for VHF work. Unfortunately, it's not field programmable, and the Baofengs are. So, this is the Smiley Slim Duck. Full scale, look at that.
Storms were located along the line extending from near Shepherd's to near Drake's Branch to near Virgilina. Movement was east at 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts in excess of are possible with these storms. Rainfall amounts of up to 1 inch are possible with these storms. These storms will be near Farmville around 5:30 p.m. Longwood University and Guinea Mills.
So,
Burke Stavern, Nelson, Bacon.
we lose it there for a second, and now it's completely gone, which is not what we want. Oh. So there's probably some propagation changes that are...
Rain could cause ponding of water on roads and possible minor flooding of ditches.
messing with my experiment here, but what I'm going to do is get an adapter so I can run this through an SWR analyzer, or at least an SWR meter, and see what the difference between these antennas is. Okay, so on to the last two antennas here, the Chinese no-name high gain 18-inch or whatever they are, really long thin antennas that you know, these things are whips in the true sense of the word. You know, compared to the movement of this antenna, the movement of this antenna, these ones don't really move. You know, they don't really do anything, but these things bounce around. I mean, you can bend them, and it's bent a little bit. You know, if you hold it in that position, it's gonna stay bent, but you can bend it back, and now it just looks kind of messed up. See, I've kind of probably permanently made it look like that now, but that's okay. Alright, so 152.7, whoops. Well, we're going to have to punch that in. I don't want to transmit and start loading this. Wow, there's another station there. Wait a minute. What is this 152.7725, or is it 7725? I need to look up the location of that transmitter. 125. Look at that. Oh, okay, not full scale. Bouncing between 3 and 4 on the meter there, which is comparable to the other antennas. Yet there's nothing on the weather frequency. Oh, wait, maybe. I'm moving the radio around the room, and I'm getting nothing. Put it into standard. Oh, just open the squelch there. Oh. Okay, so 162.4. I'll just go 162.400. That's weather channel 1. 162.475 or 425. Nothing. 6250.
Petersburg, West Virginia, partly 90.
So this thing is all over the place, which is kind of weird. And this is the dull one. It's a little bit shorter, again by about a centimeter or so than this one, which is the glossy finish and a slightly shorter connector. But these look pretty good on the Baofengs, even the colored ones. I mean, it's flush on the connector there. You know, it looks better than the, whatever it is, the RETECH, where is that thing? Better than the RETECH, RETECH RHA701, which is obviously a clone of the RH701, the Diamond, which I've had good experience with the Diamond on different radios, on a Quansheng TG-UV2, which I still have, and that thing is a great radio too. So here we go, 162.400, 162.450. Nope. Nope, not really. Seven, 1, 2. Okay, what was the other frequency? 152.7725. Okay, 161.975, 161.95, 161.925, 9375. Okay, yeah, none of those are active. 52.690. Huh, the pager's silent too. 157.950. Interesting. No, there's something. Okay, that's another local high-powered signal. So let's go back to 152.725. Okay. And then compare that to the Smiley. Well, actually, we'll use the weather transmitter. These guys stand right next to each other. That's right on the line.
Movement was east at 25 miles per hour. Wind gusts in excess of 30 miles per hour.
So now the Chinese antenna is performing better than the Smiley.
Storms. These storms will be near Brickville, Tobaccoville, Sun.
So at this point, come on. Ugh. The weather station usually provides a pretty good benchmark, but this time it's... Yeah, there you go. That's full scale. Right there. And that's 1 bar. So there's your difference there. We might have to do a third part here, since we're just busting through 20 minutes on the time, so we'll be right back with part 3 of the Baofengs and their antennas. Stay tuned.